So I'm still trying to figure out why this software acts funny, and I don't know if I'm live right now. We'll be getting rid of it. We need reliability. Looks like we finally got live here. Yep, we got audio. We got all right. We got audio and video. Put out the notification that I'm live. Wait for the live studio audience to come in. Anybody on the replay can just fast forward to the good stuff. Man, don't mind me for a minute. I'm just thinking out loud. I was trying to update the description of the video. That's the only thing that's not working. All right, we'll figure that out later. So what's up? Come on in. Share the invite. I don't care so much about that this time around. That's for the Stock Talk Live. We already got enough people in here. I am just going to make this a relatively quick live. So I'm going to put the disclaimer on the screen. I can do whatever I want with my stocks. I'm a day trader, all that stuff. Anything I say can be changed at any time, blah, blah, blah. If you're watching this, yap, yap, yap. You've read this. You've had somebody read it to you. You understand what it means, and you accept the consequences of watching my clown show. Hopefully that's enough for the powers that be. I'm not going to go through all this stuff right here. We're going to just skip to, because I'm just making this quick. I'm not dressed, all that. We're just having ourselves a day here. And we are having ourselves a day here because we have actually three quick things to discuss. The good, the bad, and the ugly. We'll start with the good. All right. Hugely good. Gatekeeper becomes OEM transit video provider to Alstom. Announces $7.5 million contract. Well, first of all, everybody's going to say $7.5 million. Now, wow, another multi-million dollar contract. Whoa. It's not just another multi-million dollar contract. And this is the thing that I wanted to come out and make sure y'all know here. It's because just like the New York contract, $20+ million, was not what it seems because it's just for Long Island, not all of New York, which is surely in the nine figures being 100 million plus. So when you see somebody win Long Island, it means they will probably win New York, which means that $20 million deal becomes a $120 million deal or a $220 million deal. Highly strategic value in the press release, well beyond what people perceive. All right. Especially when you compare that, right? Because when you see a contract win and a dollar value attached, you have to put it in perspective of the size of the company. This is a company that's doing low 30 millions of dollars a year. 32 million, I think, over the last 12 months. So to nail a $7.5 million contract, that's a whole quarter of revenue, right? To win New York, or just the Long Island piece of New York, that's 2/3 of a year's revenue. To win the deal in California they just announced, that's another third of a year's revenue, right? But the New York deal, much more meaningful. The California deal, I don't see anything extra in that deal over the 9 million, except for the fact that it's another win, proving that they're probably going to get more and more wins. They're showing dominance in the school bus space, right? So while that 9 million might be, okay, that's 9 million. 9 million is 9 million. The 20 million in New York, that's not 20 million. That's 20 million for Long Island, which probably becomes something much bigger for all of New York. So these are the things you got to think about when you assess the value of a press release. Because a lot of people out there might have seen this and said, oh, another win. That's great. Maybe the stock will be up 3 or 4%. No. Meanwhile, my mentor, we're getting together and we're like, man, the stock could be up 30% on this news. Let me tell you why. Okay. Alstom, first of all, OEM. Second of all, Alstom is the second largest train manufacturer on the planet Earth. Okay? Second largest on planet Earth. OEM, right, means original equipment manufacturer. That means basically that this deal, this $7.5 million contract, is just the opening salvo in a relationship whereby Gatekeeper could become the standard product put into Alstom trains. Okay? That is that's bigger than New York, because Alstom is making trains all over the world. Again, the second largest train manufacturer on planet Earth. And if Gatekeeper becomes the standard there, and already because of this OEM relationship, you can see in how the press release reads, right? Where was it? Announces its first Alstom contract. First meaning a second is coming, and a third, and a fourth, right? That's what it means to be an OEM, right? Alstom to become an OEM provider for factory installed transit video solutions. That's what this means, okay? So I'll be talking about this again on Friday, surely talking to the CEO, but wanted y'all to know exactly what's going on as far as that goes. And as far as the chart goes, there's the risk reward chart. I've altered it a little bit, right? Because we're now seeing they're not announcing $500,000 deals anymore. They're not even announcing $5 million deals anymore. This is 7.5, 9.3, 20 plus million. Okay? These deals now have more than a zero attached to some of the standard deals they used to do. It's, right, a little mind-numbing, but this is what's happening in AI. I mean, look, my risk-reward charts have traditionally been very good about picking tops. Right? Well, not recently. We have name after name after name blowing over the top. TSSI was the first, blew straight through the top of my risk-reward line. I'm not going to alter this. I'll just tell you that the risk-reward line was somewhere around 19 or 20, and it blew to 30. Drone Shield, top of the risk-reward line. Where was that? 236. Now it's $4. Kraken. Top of the risk reward line, 260. Now over $4. All right. So now what I need to start doing with these AI names, because these are all names benefiting from AI, right? You can ask me on Friday how and why if you don't understand it. Just know that this is all a function of what's happening with AI. This company, it's funny, this is another $2 stock, right? And from what we're seeing in the leadership they are starting to demonstrate, the platform that they are building out, upon which all kinds of services can sit. Okay? I have to give full credit to the move that I made in 2021 and say, you know what? I don't think people are going to let this stop going up from these levels. And probably nor should they. This could easily blast right through the top of my fundamental risk-reward lines, just like the other ones have, especially because in this particular case, we have a 2-year runway of government mandates that are going to make this company look like it's growing faster than it actually is. Now, that's not a bad thing, right? They're growing fast. But if people perceive it to be growing faster than it really should be, ultimately, that means the stock will overshoot before ultimately coming back down once the comps become tougher, maybe in 2028. All right? But in the meantime, we've seen this plenty of times. Stocks can overshoot. I mean, we've even seen a monster company like Oracle overshoot. Drone Shield overshoot. Kraken overshoot. TSSI overshoot. This is what's happening. Okay? So keep that in mind with what's going on here, because we haven't even gotten to a full operating on 10 cylinders stock level for GK PRF, and it seems to be operating on 12. We'll talk more on Friday as I get more information on this. So that's the good. Let's go to the bad. And it's not bad for us, because if you've been paying attention to what I've been saying over the last week or so, most recently Monday, was that last night? Yesterday, right? Monday was yesterday. On the Wolf Financial Spaces, if you haven't seen it, check it out. Just follow me here on Twitter, X, and I am a weekly guest on the Wolf Financial Spaces. And on yesterday's Spaces, which is still available for replay, there's Wolf right here, right? I can... we're not going to do that. What I want to do, show you what his Twitter handle is. There you go. There's Wolf Financial. Okay. I said, it feels to me that AEHR has been winning deals with the Sonoma product that they acquired. And Sonoma has a lower ASP, average selling price, than their Fox XP system. And that I want to see the Fox XP system start to take off too, so that you get those higher value machines, not just the smaller value machines, because a bunch of smaller value machines isn't going to send this revenue into the stratosphere, okay? Not by itself, at least. And so when I looked at Air's chart compared to the progress that they've made, which is great. They've made great progress. Congratulations, Gain Erickson, CEO. I consider him a friend now. I've been following this company for about 10 years. So I know the company inside out. I know there's some people out there talking about, well, my DCF doesn't understand. Bro, there's a lot of you out there, smart people. If you've learned how to do a DCF, you are a very intelligent individual. But the biggest multi-baggers are not predicted by a DCF analysis, because a DCF analysis is only as good as the inputs that go into it. You have to understand the product, the opportunity, the TAM, the competitors, and then actually forecast the future appropriately in order for the DCF to be viable, accurate, okay? So that you can get one person that comes up with a DCF of $16, somebody else that comes up with a value of $26, and then somebody else that comes up with a value of $66. And a lot of it depends on scenario analysis as well. So what I'm going to tell you is that learning how to do a DCF, while it does mean that you are intelligent, it's a literal drop in the bucket compared to the research you have to do to make that DCF calculation accurate, because it's garbage without the right numbers, okay? And for you, like, especially if you're young and in the business, I know way too many of you, like especially the smartest ones of you end up doing the dumbest things. I used to do it too. Because I was smart. I got a 156 IQ and I graduated Northeastern University. I know exactly what I'm doing. Until you get the Wall Street beat down. Not realizing what you don't know. Too full of yourself over what you do know. And it's a lot. What you know is a lot. But it's not close to what it takes to be a monster in this business. I don't consider myself a monster yet, because I hang out with dudes that know a lot more than me. And I've been doing this for 30 years. I haven't had a losing pick since May of last year. I'm up 250+% this year, 46% a year for the last 30 years, and I still don't consider myself a monster. So don't talk like one. It looks dumb. Learn instead. Become a monster, and then become a bigger monster, and then become a bigger monster. By learning, get your pen and notebook out, y'all. Okay, now let's look at what's going on with Air. The stock is getting crushed today, and this goes back to what I was talking about. And for you bears out there, I'm sure you bears are really happy with this move. That's cool and all, right? Because I did think and say that the stock, to me, had gotten ahead of itself. There's my risk-reward lines, and look, There's a reason why this is up here. DCF. My DCF says it can go to here. What's the difference between my DCF and your DCF? Well, maybe you should find out. Because you're a smart guy, I'm a smart guy. Who's the smarter guy on this situation? Honestly, I don't know. And probably you don't either. So let's be humble. I don't act humble, of course, but I ain't going to say that I know more than you. I didn't say that. I'm saying that you need to know more. There's a difference. All right. So we have a stock that made all this progress. And this was back here. I said AI Gold Mine, right back here, single digits. Okay. And from AI Gold Mine, it has made all this progress to its potential without making all this potential stock price, without making all this progress to its potential as a company. Now, remember what I taught y'all. This is a scale of 1 to 10 for a stock. And you have to match it up with how many cylinders the company is operating on to determine where in this chart the stock belongs right now. Okay? AEHR is not operating on all 10 cylinders yet. Do I think they will? I think there's a really good chance that they are going to, at some point, be operating on all 10 cylinders. But it was really clear going into last night's earnings call that they weren't yet. Okay? You see the announcements that they've been making? They're great. Great announcements. But not that great. Not that great. Again, it's the Sonoma system, the lower price system. It's not the Fox XPs. It's a few customers, not so many. Where are the Microns as a customer on the flash side, high bandwidth memory? Where is the additional storage customer? I think Seagate is one. Where's WD? Where's NVIDIA? Where's AMD? Where are all of these potential customers out there? Right? They're still potential customers. They're still evaluating the system. They talked about it on the call last night. 10 different companies have gone through their headquarters looking at their machines. People want to see their machines. They are going to get more customers. Okay? But they haven't yet. And as a result, this is why I told y'all, for those of you who kept all your shares, please, in the future, pay attention to this important lesson. Don't think a stock can just go up forever. It cannot. It has to be commensurate with the progress it's made towards its fundamental potential in order to reach its stock potential. And Air last night showed us what I told you before the earnings call. They haven't done that yet. Simple as that. I'm still bullish on the company. I still love Gain. I don't have a comment on where the stock should be today, but if you listened yesterday, hopefully you took profits. Be wise to have done so. And we'll see where it goes from here. Stay tuned Friday. Hopefully I'm planning on speaking to Gain between now and Friday. Come back on the regular edition of Stock Talk Live, not the surprise edition, and we'll talk about that some more. So that takes care of them. And we're going to leave that there for Friday on both of those. And then last but not least, we said the good, the bad, and while I'm here criticizing somebody for making an ass of themselves in a public forum by making themselves pounding their chest about how smart they are, don't do that, right? Because when you do that, it looks dumb when you actually are proven wrong, right? We don't need to gamble with our reputations, all right? Our reputations are hard enough to maintain as it is. And in this case right here, right? This is the ugly, this is money mark eating crow. Right after I criticize somebody for putting themselves in a position to eat crow, I'm eating crow. Because this filing right here, I looked through it, I read it carefully, I saw that they had sold $3 million, right, during the prior calendar period, and as of June, they had only raised right? 1.0 million in that offering back in June. So I was like, whoa, they raised $1 million in June, but now they're up to $3 million. These guys raised another $2 million. These guys lied to me. They said that they weren't going to raise any money anytime soon, that they had enough money to get to profitability, that they would only raise money if the stock showed tremendous spike in price and volume. Well, let's go to the chart, because this stock has not been showing tremendous movement and spike in price or volume, and yet it looks like they've been issuing shares. Wrong. Wrong, Mark. Wrong. Dummy. Stupid. You went out in front of 3,000 or 4,000 people, 3,000 or 4,000 views every week, and went crazy on this company, yelled at this company, called them liars, only to look like a fool that I look right now, because guess what? The $3 million during the 12 calendar months, which means that the other $2 million could have been raised long before the June offering. How dumb. How stupid. Dummy of the week. I didn't give a Dummy of the Week prize last week. You know why? Because it was me. I spoke to the CFO. We cleared it up. He was very gracious, by the way, after somebody like me comes out and blasts him in front of thousands of people, right? And then cleared things up. And then reiterated that we're not looking to raise money again unless we get a nice spike on the stock price on high volume to where we're not negatively impacting the stock. Okay? In addition to that, I got an update from him on the business. He's very happy with how things are going. The one thing that at least I was 1 for 2, because I got reprimanded by outsiders before I spoke to the CFO, right? The outsider said, yo, they haven't raised any more money. I just emailed the company and they say they didn't raise any more money. You're wrong, Mark. And you said that Amazon rankings are going down, and so their Amazon revenue is going down. They said Amazon's bigger than ever. You're wrong, Mark. Well, not so fast on the second one, all right? Because I spoke to the CFO and he doesn't look at Amazon data on a day-to-day basis. He only gets a monthly report. So you could actually have lower in the rankings and lower in the revenue on Amazon without him actually knowing it. So, whoever got that information, it was premature as far as that goes. I am pretty convinced that they had a strong end to the quarter on Amazon, but since then, a little tail off. By the way, that's nothing to get concerned about, okay? I wasn't trying to make some big deal out of it. I was just adding that as a cherry on top of the Sunday that turned out to be a poop Sunday, right? The Sunday that was, these guys are raising money. Well, no, they're not, right? So once in a while, I have to come out here, clear things up, give a mea culpa, because at the end of the day, we have to be factual, and I wasn't. And so I'm sorry to you if you guys traded the stock on that information, right? Hopefully, we're making up for it today. Gatekeeper ripping, right? All of our picks continuing. What are we doing right now? What do we got for our picks right now? I'm also readying a new pick. I don't know when it'll be ready. I keep telling you it could be next week. Yeah, it could be next week. Could be this week. It's ready when it's ready. Dude, we're on fire, right? Out of the last, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 picks. We got 13 winners, and 1, 2, 3, 4 of them multi-bagging. That's a pretty good hit rate. So, but that doesn't excuse the fact that I screwed this up, and boom. I wanted to make sure we accentuate the fact too. I don't want to just brush it over. This goes to show you we have to make sure that we know what we're talking about. Run things by people. Operate as a collective. The human brain works better when it works with other human brains, okay? So that's it. We're not going to do any Q&A today because I just wanted to come and give you this quick down and dirty of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Hopefully this is useful for you. We will reiterate some of this on Friday. We won't reiterate the ugly. I gave my mea culpas out there right now. I will say that we can talk about SenesTech a little bit more on Friday and what I think. They are getting into new channels. So, obviously when you get into a new channel, a lot of times you'll have a spike in sales initially. A lot of product goes into the channel, a lot of curiosity, purchases, and things like that. And then you have to see, is the product working? And then the word spreads and then it can take off again, right? So we get that kind of movement. That actually happened with AI. Remember ChatGPT? And you had the spike in usage and then it dropped back down and people go, I told you. Shut up, stupid. Now what? You thought NVIDIA was done at $42 a share because OpenAI, because ChatGPT usage was dipping down. You're a dip because the dip was actually just a dip. 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 2 steps forward, 1 step back, and here we are about 20 steps forward. All right? And no offense, right? This is just a show. This is entertainment. I have great respect for all of y'all, but we're gonna make some entertainment out of it. I'm gonna make fun of you. I'm a battle rapper. When you make a mistake, when you slip on a banana peel, I'm gonna laugh. Okay? And then I'm going to laugh at myself too when that happens. But bottom line is, this company still has, I don't know what there we go, has a lot of opportunity, a lot of potential. They're getting into new channels. I expect that to continue. It's not going to happen rapidly, so we got time. It's still speculative. It's still wait time. And if you follow the rules, which you can get for free here and here, okay, which I hope you do, because if you want to be, I know it's easy to make money right now. It's easy to make money right now, but it's also going to be easy to lose it. Don't wait until you lose it. I've had too many friends that thought they were geniuses. It's easy to be a genius in this market. What's hard is to take time in a market like this when you feel like a genius and say, I need to learn more. So go to here and learn more. It's all free. There's no catches, no strings attached. I do this for y'all. Okay? Oops. Because somebody did it for me. It's simple as that. All right? Anyways, that's it for now. The gatekeeper deserves to be up because this is huge news. The air deserves to be down because it got ahead of itself. The SenesTech, we'll see. We'll talk a little bit more about it on Friday and answer your questions, but I've talked enough already. You guys have the rest of the day. Hit the subscribe bell. Hit the thumbs up. Mostly the thumbs up, right? And all right. See, this is what happens when you don't prepare for a show. You end up yapping too much, and I yap too much, and you guys are still here, so I appreciate that. See you Friday, Stock Talk Live. Maybe a new pick. Really good chance. Each week, like I only say that I've got a new pick coming when I'm like this close. Right? I just got to finish the research and all that and make sure the stock isn't taking off, because if the stock takes off, then, all bets are off, things like that, right? Tune in Friday, though, because that could be the day. All right. Catch y'all later. Back to work.